And welcome back to our Varsity Sports Now high school basketball preview show. We're going to take a look at a bunch of classes. Going to start in North Dakota right now, Jason, though, with the boys Class A, and St. Mary comes in as your number one team.
St. Mary, a very young team last year, lost in that awesome game in the tournament against Shanley in overtime. Both teams getting over 100 points. A lot of those pieces are back in place. They're my number one team. You got to look at Century as being tough, too. On the east side of the state, a lot of teams could contend, and you see it right there, 3 through 5. All those teams have a shot at winning the East.
And for a little more on your preseason number one, we bring in now head coach of St. Mary, Brent D. Cook. And Brent, how excited are you that your first head coaching job involves a team like St. Mary?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. We got a great group of senior kids back from last year with a lot of experience. It's definitely helped the transition as far as me, coming in and taking over. It's made things very easy. We can keep continuing on running a lot of the same things we do, and makes practices that much easier too. And you can call a drill, and they all jump in and know what's going on right away.
So what might we notice that is different with you as head coach compared to last year?
There'll be some minor tweaks here and there, but, a group that won 20 games last year, it's tough to come in and change a whole ton. You don't really want to reinvent the wheel, as they say.
All right, Brett, finally, what have you identified as your team's strengths coming into this year?
Our strengths definitely is our team speed. We like to play fast. We like to play an up-tempo brand of basketball, and we have the kids who can do that. And our guys are skilled at putting the ball in the hoop, so that's definitely a plus for us. The biggest things we need to improve on is defense and rebounding. Especially our help side defense. We're pretty good on the ball, but off the ball is where we need to improve.
All right, that again, Brent D. Cook, the head coach of the Bismarck St. Mary Saints. All right, well, Fargo Davies comes in at number 3 in Jandy's preseason power rankings. The Eagles won 18 games last season. While they've got some terrific talent coming back, head coach Bart Manson and company say they've got some holes to fill, too.
Of course, Tanner Krushman and Andrew Kozlowski back for us. They're both all-conference members for us last year, so it's nice to have 2 good guards back, but we have a lot of pieces that we really have to kind of put together at the start of the season here and see what we have. And some kids are going to need some minutes on the floor just to see what they can give, and hopefully by the end of the year we can be back at where we were last year.
Coming off of last year, we have some high expectations for ourselves this year. We have a pretty young group of guys with not a lot of varsity experience, but we've set some high goals for ourselves.
Well, coming off of last year, we had a good year, made the state tournament for the first time in Davies history, so we look to build off of that and hopefully have an even better season.
We'll talk about filling holes, and you have to mention Shanley. Fresh off their first state championship, the Deacons have almost completely turned their roster over as they enter a new season.
Completely turned over the roster. One guy back that played a lot for us last year. So a lot of starting from scratch work in terms of personnel getting into the game. So hopefully just to be playing good basketball by the end of the season.
We had a young group this year, but we're still really motivated, and we still have the same goal as last year, and that's to make a run in the late season, in the postseason at EDC and at state if we can do well. And we're just looking to win games and get better every day at practice and with each game.
All right, elsewhere in the East, many people feel that Wahpeton is one of the strongest squads in the EDC. They feature some nice size underneath and a couple of potential big-time scores. Coach Jeff Ralph and the Huskies talk about handling these high expectations.
I think we're always that way. I don't know if we're always picked to win it, but we always feel like we're going to be pretty good. We feel like we have good kids here, and but I don't know if the kids take that as an honor or something, a challenge ahead of them.
Of course, we're going to have to prove ourselves. We got some tough competitors out there, but I think knowing that we are ranked that good, it's going to give us the edge mentally to go out and strive to do what we need to do to show that we are number one.
We're just kind of down about that football game. We got to get over it though, but come on, we got to play like we did in football for basketball, and we'll be good.
All right, that's a look at Class A. Now let's take a quick look at Class B, your preseason power rankings.
If you remember from last year, the 2 teams that made it to the state finals, Milner and Four Winds, well, they're both back and they're both strong again. Milner with Britton Bussman, almost 25 points per game, 7 rebounds, and of course Wyatt Mund, his sidekick. it's hard to call him a sidekick at 18 points a game, but very good player. And then Four Winds, a very athletic team. They don't have their best player, Longy, back, but they've already beaten a top 10 team on their first game of the year. So look out for Four Winds. You see Delax Burlington with the only all-state player back on their team, Tanner Holt. He's almost a 25-point-a-game scorer. And then Cavalier, a very strong team athletically, 6'3" guys on their front line. And Linton already with an impressive win to start the season, taking out Lemoore. So that top 5 could change over a little bit, but those are the 5 I'm looking out at the beginning of the season.
Looks like it's setting up to be another exciting season in Class B basketball.
It's going to be crazy. Dakota. As always, there's going to be somebody coming out of nowhere, too, to crash the party.
Absolutely. All right, well, on the girls' side, the Century Patriots are setting out in search of a third straight state title. We'll hear from head coach Ron Metz when we come back.
Varsity Sports Now, presented by Shield.